voices are exotic dancers that enter one by one. Make love to all of your orifices in your seduction. Your seduction.
Hello and welcome to Ear Seduction. I'm your host, Paul Schilling. This is the first series in a multitude of series I will be publishing for Season 3 of Ear Seduction. This series is called The Bible 5.0, named after a book I am writing of the same title. The Bible 5.0 consists of two parts, or books. Book 1 is a brief compilation of all the foundational information that we must cover before moving on to more complex issues like morality, intellectual maturity, and free will. The following 5 episodes or chapters are called Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. They are titled this way as a tongue-in-cheek reference to the Hebrew Bible. In the 6th episode, I've included a conclusion. In these videos, I will answer the following questions. How did it all begin? How did life begin? Where did we come from? Who are we? How should we live? How should we think? What is the nature of reality? And can we know anything for certain? The answers to these questions and others will be purposefully simplistic, as I will be elaborating on these answers in more detail in future videos. These next 6 episodes will give you a foundation to work from. By the end of these 6 episodes, you will understand my basic metaphysics and epistemology, the methodology I am using to self-educate. It is my hope that you will also use this system to educate yourselves. As I expand this show across the multiple series that I have planned, I'm going to share with you all that I have learned utilizing this system. I know that some of you must be thinking, well, who are you to answer these questions, and why should I believe you? Some of you must also be thinking, are these your answers? Are these just your opinions? The answer to that is also foundational and simplistic. To answer the first question, who am I? I am a typical Homo sapiens. I'm not special. I'm average. But I've employed a very specific and simplistic tactic to ensure that the things that I believe are true. In doing so, I've successfully enlightened my thinking to such a degree that I feel compelled to publish this series. My hope is that some of you will also benefit from employing this strategy. My epistemology, or my theory of knowledge, follows very specific guidelines. So when I engage in the investigation of what distinguishes justified belief from opinion, I utilize specific tools, and I adhere to them very strictly. The first tool I use is, of course, evidence. Everything that I believe or know is supported by high-quality evidence. I'll get into that more later, but the big takeaway here is that I never require you to just trust me. I always require that before I believe or know something, that it meets the following evidentiary criteria. It has to be demonstrable, reproducible, verifiable, falsifiable, and presented in valid and sound logical prose. And over the years, I've gone to great lengths to educate myself on the answers to the questions that I posed earlier. By following these very strict and specific rules that I'll get into in great detail in future videos, I've been able to construct a highly accurate, incredibly useful, and easy to communicate system for educating yourself. This system can also be thought of as a worldview. By using this system, you will be able to understand the world and your place in it, where you can make sense of your actions and determine what are the best actions to take. Now, to answer the second question, why should you believe me? Well, I always try to only speak things that meet this criteria that I said above. I hold myself to this very high standard and only relay information that meets this standard. On the occasions that I do decide to speculate or rant, I make that very clear to anyone who might be listening. In other words, you won't ever have to take my word for it. You will always be able to investigate the evidence for yourself to verify that what I'm telling you is correct. Also, I will always give you the tools to verify what I am saying. I will provide references and sources when necessary, and I will talk you through my logic step by step in order to ensure that it is sound and valid. And when I do stray from this standard, I will issue a warning so that you are made aware. My system requires me to tell the truth and not to mislead you. Again, we'll get into that more later. Finally, these are not my answers. These are the answers. Hard-fought answers that took humanity millennia to investigate and conclude. The answers provided in the following episodes are the narrative which best describes all the evidence we've accumulated as a species thus far. Interestingly, they are common knowledge and very easy to attain given our modern technological landscape. None of what I'm about to tell you is my opinion. Rather, these answers are the facts of the matter, bundled into as eloquent of prose as I can muster, given my obvious limited intelligence. As I said before, I'm just an average guy, ignorant to so many topics. But by using the system in this series, you too can know, not just believe, the answers to humanity's most ancient and pressing questions. In the next episode, we'll be tackling the first two big questions. How did it all begin? And where did we come from? Thank you for joining me, and this has been Ear Seduction.